Today we're trying to get Narrowboat Perseverance to Huddersfield. We're currently on the Battyeford Cut on the Calder and Hebble navigation, heading east past the boats moored at the South Pennine Boat Club. After a mile on the cut, we pass through the Battyeford floodgates to get back on the river just above the weir. Then it's under a footbridge, a pipe bridge and a railway bridge in short order. Then it's just a mile on the river before we have to lock back up onto the cut to avoid another weir. You may have noticed that it's quite damp today, and sadly the weather doesn't improve as the day progresses. We're actually really close to the Huddersfield Broad Canal now, which is running parallel to us, but to reach it we need to travel another half mile to get to Cooper's Bridge Junction, and then we turn back on ourselves down the river. We go under the bridge that gives the lock and the junction at Cooper's Bridge their names. It actually carries the A62 over the canal and the river. At the junction we turn off the Calder and Hebble and we travel back under Cooper Bridge, and then we arrive at the bottom lock on the Huddersfield Broad Canal. We're on the outskirts of the town now, but there's 9 wide locks between us and the moorings at the far end of the navigation, so it's going to take us a little while to get there. The Huddersfield Broad Canal was originally called the Ramsden Canal after Sir John Ramsden. It was built in 1776 to link Huddersfield with the Calder and Hebble navigation and to serve the mills carrying wool and textiles and coal. When the Huddersfield Narrow Canal opened in 1811, it linked with the Broad Canal to create a route across the Pennines to Manchester. After I lock us through the bottom lock, I hand the windlass off to Michael and I take control of the tiller. It's quite windy, so I keep the boat under the railway bridge while I wait for the gates to open. Lock 2 is called Colne Bridge Lock. It gets its name from the River Colne that flows through Huddersfield to the River Calder. The Broad Canal follows the route of the River Colne for much of its length. Colne Road Bridge is as old as the canal. It was built in 1775. This area is pretty industrial on both sides of the canal. We pass under the Bradley Viaduct. It was built for a railway line, but now it just carries a cycle path. At Lady Grave Lock, water's pouring over the top lock gates. One of the ground pedals here is out of action and we can't get the lock off the other one, so we're forced to use the gate paddles to fill the lock. We pass through the area of Deaton to reach Longlands Lock. The rain's really pelting down now. Whiteacre Mill Viaduct used to carry another old railway line across the canal. This was once a pretty stone bridge, but now it's been widened with concrete on both sides. The next lock is the Turnpike Road Lock. These locks are actually only suitable for boats up to 56 feet and 6 inches long, and as Perseverance is just about that length, our bow is pushed right up against the lock gates. At Reading Lock there's quite a powerful bywash coming into the canal below the lock. As you pass the flow, the boat gets pushed to the side, so you need to use the tiller to compensate for this. A very straight section of canal takes us to Fieldhouse Lock. The penultimate lock on the Broad Canal is Falls Lock. Finally, we pass under Red Dolls Bridge into Red Dolls Lock. When the canal was built, this pound was made deeper than the rest of the canal, so it could store extra water for the locks. It's about a mile from here to the moorings in town. Michael jumps aboard to ride the rest of the way, and the heavens really open as we near the end of the trip. There's just one more obstacle, which is the Turn Lifting Bridge, also known as the Locomotive Lift Bridge. Wheels and chains and counterweights lift the road out of the way so we can pass through. Finally, we find a mooring opposite Sainsbury's. It's been a long wet day.